Hey y'all, welcome back to M. Jones Style. I'm Marcia and I garden in Zone 8A, North Texas. So guys, I am back out in my garden today and guess what I'm doing? I am trying to put in a drip irrigation system. Now guys, I do not know what I'm doing, but I have watched a gazillion YouTube videos on how to install an irrigation system. And so I've been working on it and I have to tell you, it's not as easy as they say, but it can be done. Because if I can do it, I know that you can too. So let me tell you what's been going on. Let me show you what's been going on. And we will get going on this installation of my semi-formal, informal irrigation system. All right, guys, let's go. Okay guys, so let's start over here where all the drama starts to this drip irrigation. So I have attached mine to my outside spigot, and here is the timer that I purchased, which is not set. And then the drip irrigation, the 1/2 inch tubing is attached to that. And I have taken it around over here and through my gate area. So I'm going to step inside my gate area and show you exactly what I did. Over here, I'm on the other side of my gate area, and I brought the tubing down through here, and I stopped here first, and I put in my first drip irrigation to this plant right here. So what is connected here is the 1/2 inch tubing. There is a little piece, and I'll put the name on the screen, and then my 1/4 inch tubing, and then from there is my emitter. And I've taken this down through here and I've touched each one of these plants so that it will get the additional water that it needs. And then I got over here and I decided this is just too much. So what I'm going to do for these plants through here is I'm going to get a different type of tubing that already has the emitters in it, and that will help out, and I don't have to do so much cutting and using additional hose for this area. So I went ahead and I did put it on these plants here because they're new and they need the extra water. This area, I put the system on this plant, and I also put it back here on my cannas. Now what I also did is I left this area here and I moved on over to this area over here, and I've added drip irrigation to each one of these plants. They do require an additional water, so I went ahead and did that, and I brought it on around here. Let me see if I can show it to you. Okay, and then I brought it on through here. All these plants don't have it, but the ones that do, I'll point them out to you. I have this one here, and I have this one here on my rose bushes, and then this is my banana tree, so I went ahead and put one there. And then we will go through here, and I picked up same tubing around here, and I put it over here on my cantaloupes, and then I brought it across my creek bed, and I put one in through here to this mom. My idea is to take it from here and pick up a few more of these plants through here that really do require a lot of water. Like for example, my Rose of Sharon. I will put some on this rose bush over here, and then I'll take it on down through here, and I'll wrap it around that Rose of Sharon. Oh, look at that beautiful butterfly. And then I will bring it up through here, and I'll cut it off probably right about there. Now all of these plants are not going to have drip irrigation because I have a lot of natives and they are very drought tolerant and they don't need all this extra water. I'm only going to add it to the plants that need the additional water to help me out and to help me not to have to be out here for hours watering all of my plants. Now let me show you the problem that I'm having with this drip irrigation system. This is the easy part. Just line the tubing, but here is where the problem comes in. First of all, you are going to need some type of system to keep all of these supplies separated. So I went to Lowe's and I purchased this little container, and I separated all the different little compartments or parts that go to your drip irrigation. This is not everything, this is just some things. The problem that I'm having is using this tool right here to put a hole in my 1/2-inch tubing, because you have to put a hole in it in order to get the water from the 1/2-inch tubing through the 1/4-inch tubing and then to the emitter in order to water your plants. So you see that little point right there? That is supposed to prick a hole in that tubing. Well, it's not doing a very good job, because the tubing will lie in this area right here, that little round area, and then you do it like that, and it's supposed to put the hole. Well, the hole's not big enough, in my opinion. So it is very difficult right there. The second thing that's difficult, and the reason that it's difficult, is because this little thing right here, this is what you have to stick in that 1/2-inch tubing on one end, and then on the other end, you put this in your 1/4-inch tubing. And then from here, you put an emitter onto the 1/4-inch tubing at the other end, and that is how your water comes out. Well, my fingers are sore from trying to press this little object into that tubing. I don't know why it's so difficult for me, but it is, and I see the people on the YouTube videos doing it, and it looks so simple. So I'm gonna go back, or I'm gonna go to Home Depot today to see if I can find me another, there you go, if I can find me another type of tool that will make that little job easier. If I can make this job easier, it's gonna be a piece of cake. Okay, y'all, I'm back on my drip irrigation. And so what I did was I went and I ordered this emitter tubing. It is a 1/4 inch, and it is every 12 inches it has this emitter right here. So what I've been doing is I got my new little tool from it's Rainbird, and it's from Home Depot, and it works so much better. But I also got this little tool right here, so that if you have a hard time punching it into the distribution tubing, you can use this to give you more leverage. But so far I have not needed to use that, so that's great. So if you'll look over here, what I decided to do, sorry about my finger, is that I decided to get that type of tubing to take care of these elephant ears that are so close together. So all I did was connect into my drip irrigation with a 3-prong emitter, which is this one right here. Let's see if I can get that, which is this one right here. It has 3 places on it, and so I plugged this one into my distribution, and then I took each side of my 12-inch emitters and I plugged them together here, and that is how the water is distributed from this plant over here to this plant right here. I hope that makes sense. So now I do have some emitters that don't have a plant to water. So what I did was I cut the emitter out, and I plugged it in with this piece right here. And what this piece does is this piece just carries the water from that side to that side. So what I had to do is cut out the emitter, can't say that for some reason, and I replaced it with this one. Okay, so I need a couple of more that I need to do that too. Like for example, right down here, here is this end where I cut it off, and there's the other end. So now I'm going to take this and I'm going to stick it in there and stick it over here, and that's going to close off that water and send it on to the next plant. So let me do that now. Okay guys, so this right here is the emitter that I cut off, and I replaced it with this right here, and that stops that water from watering that area right there. So guys, I am so excited that I have basically figured out how to put in this drip irrigation system on my own. So from over there all the way through here, all these plants here, the ones that need it, are now set up on irrigation. And my next job, I have these all set up here. I will eventually do the pots, but not this time around. I'm a little tired. And I went on up through there, as I told you, and got these plants here. So all these plants are on drip irrigation. Now, the ones that need it, like these zinnias, they're not on drip irrigation. They don't need it. But my roses and my banana plant, my cantaloupes. Oh guys, look at this. This is today's action of the cantaloupes. Can you see that? All right. And then, as I was saying, it's coming across here and coming down and picking up a few of these plants here. Only the ones that I feel like need the supplemental water. And as it comes on around here, guys, it stops right here. So what I'm going to do, see that little piece right down there? That's where it stops. So I am going to hook up with a couple of these plants here. And then what I think I'm going to do before I hook up with those plants, I think I'm going to bring it across here and hook up my secret garden. Well guys, that's my drip irrigation. So guys, you can put in a drip irrigation system. You just have to have the supplies, the patience, and the will to do it. And I'm going to continue this until I get every plant that I feel like needs some extra water under my drip irrigation. So I hope you learned something from this video. And if you have any questions or anything, please don't hesitate to ask me, because I don't know what I'm doing really. I'm an amateur, but I got it going. So guys, I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope you'll come back again to visit me in my garden. Sorry, I'm sweating. And I hope you're having a wonderful day, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye guys.